This, my friends, could possibly be the best marketing ever for your restaurant at a local level. Yes, the best. And this thought was triggered by a text from a client just now who must have been reading my mind.
My goal is to help restaurant owners finally get to where they want to go. But more than that, my goal is to find entrepreneurs within that segment that actually know what it means to hustle. That's my goal. Come on the journey with me.
Restaurant Marketing Secrets, episode 210. I'm your host, Matt Plapp, and we are brought to you by America's Best Restaurants. America's Best Restaurants is on a path to help you, independent restaurant owners, find more frequent customers. Because currently, you rely on infrequent customers, new and lost people to pay your bills. And yes, the bills are getting paid, but I think you can agree you have a job and you don't have enough money in the bank to live the life you want and to scale your restaurant. Let's talk about a way that you can do that. So I'm not going to tease you. I'm going to get right to the meat and potatoes. My guy, Patrick Harder, owns a bunch of restaurants, good friend of mine, sent me a text message this morning. I'm kicking around the idea of getting a Gallardo like your old one and wrapping it with our new color scheme. I think it would be great and get more impressions than a billboard. Ha ha. Patrick is 150 million% correct. I actually did a podcast on this a while back where a restaurant owner asked me about a Corvette because he was telling me his dream car is a Corvette. And I said, why don't you kill two birds with one stone? Get your dream car and create the most badass advertising in your local market that's ever happened by a pizza restaurant. And he had a hard time wrapping his head around it. And I'm like, dude, how many people have you seen drive around town in a exotic car or a fancy sports car or something that's flashy with their logos all over for the restaurant? The answer is none. I've not seen it. I go to every damn market. Actually, I lied. I went to a restaurant that had one of those little Polaris motorcycle three-wheel things. I think they're called sidekicks or switches or I don't know, something like that. And they had it. I can't remember where the heck that was. It was me, my wife, my son saw it. That was cool. That was a pizza place. It was like a fast casual brand. I remember that. But nowhere else. Gold's Gym back in the day in Erlanger, Kentucky, the guy that owned the Gold's Gym, it was Gold's Gym, owned the franchise here locally, had like 10 or 15 stores, and eventually changed it to Urban Active, grew that massively to a bunch of states, and then sold it for millions. But he had a yellow H1 Hummer that literally at one point had a flat tire for like 6 months and was parked in the front parking lot on Dixie Highway in Erlanger, where there's a BB&T Bank right now, or Truist Bank, right there. And every time you drove by, you saw the yellow Hummer with Gold's Gym on it. And when he drove it around town, you saw it everywhere. And so Patrick is not far off. So here's the conversation. Number one, what are you willing to do that's different? There's a book on my desk called Marketing Outrageously. And the book talks about doing things different. The guy, John Spolstra, was famously known when he took over the marketing for the New Jersey Nets. They sucked. And guess what? He didn't market the New Jersey Nets because they sucked. He marketed who was coming to play the New Jersey Nets. And he had billboards up around town when Michael Jordan was coming to town, when Isaiah Thomas was coming to town, when Patrick Ewing was coming across the river to play. The tickets. He was the first person. He had tickets, not with New Jersey Nets because they sucked, but with Michael Jordan on them and people that blew up. That's marketing outrageously. I want you to think about your restaurant. I'm a car guy. Maybe you're a car guy or gal. You could kill two birds with one stone, have a badass car that you would enjoy that would give you a little better mindset, because I could tell you, driving a Lamborghini, driving a Bentley, driving a Maserati, BMW, I've had fun in all of them. It puts you in a different place. It makes you feel a little better. We're all insecure. I know I am. That's why I got a car problem. But it's also great marketing. It starts conversations. And imagine if you're the restaurant in town with a bright yellow Dodge Charger that's all logoed up, a Corvette, a Ferrari, a Porsche, a BMW, a Bentley, a Rolls Royce, whatever. There are so many opportunities, but you've got to get out of your own way. It's a fear mindset. And after the break, I'm going to talk about how actually inexpensive it is to own one of these. We interrupt your program for a brief announcement from our sponsor. Hey, it's Matt. And yeah, that was me. But guess what? We don't have any sponsors. It's just us, America's Best Restaurants. We don't take money for our podcast. We don't sell sponsorships. We don't have product placements. It's just me giving you advice that can help your restaurant get to the next level. But what I would love for you to do is check out what America's Best Restaurants is doing at americasbestrestaurants.com. Check out our ABR Roadshow on the Get Featured tab, or check out what we're doing under Restaurant Marketing Help that can help you, independent restaurants, take the next step in your marketing. Now back to the podcast. Okay, so I'm going to assume that you can get over the fact that you're marketing normal and that you're willing to take a step and market outrageously. And I'm going to just do something simple. I'm going to go to cars.com. Got my browser open. Here's some clicking. And I'm going to go in here and I'm going to look for some cars because I want you to understand how inexpensive some of these things actually are from a standpoint of marketing your business. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to go for all makes. So let's see. Let's go down here. We got to scroll down. I'm going to go to, now Bugatti might be extreme. Now, one thing you do have to look at, so certain brands are expensive to have oil changes. Like my Lamborghini was like $2,500, $2,800 to have an oil change. My Maserati was like $700. So Maseratis are badass. I'm going to go with a Gallardo or not a Gallardo, a Gran Turismo. And I'm going to go used. And I'm going to all miles because you can have these things shipped. It costs you like $1,000 to have a car shipped. Because I just want to give you an example that if you took a Maserati, so this is for you, my guy Patrick. Here's a 2010 Maserati Gran Turismo S with 50,000 miles for $28,900. Now, I've got Kylie, my niece, who also works on our team in my office. Kylie, is that not badass looking?
Absolutely.
If you saw a pizza joint with that wrapped with their logos, would it make you stop?
Yeah.
28 G's. So $28,000 worth of car is probably $400 a month. Not a big deal. And I could keep going up. So that's a Maserati. Like look at that one. That's $60,000. So that's going to cost you about $700, $800 a month. That's badass. You take that bad boy, you put a graphics package on this, it's going to cost you $3,000 to $5,000 to wrap it. So there's Maserati. And I can tell you, Maserati Gran Turismos are awesome. The exhaust is freaking intoxicating. I had one. I loved it. So let's go Lamborghini. And we're going to go Gallardo because they quit making that in 2013 and a half, I believe. And that is probably the most affordable Gallardo you'll get. Now, these are going to be typically $100,000 to $200,000, I would think. So here's a 2008. You don't want that. So let's go year because I don't want to go pre. 2013 has what's called the E-Gear. And the E-Gear model is a model to have because it's a lot less headache than the other ones. So I want to go 2014 newest, and I want to go oldest. We'll go 2014. So here's a couple 2014s. $138,000 for that. $145,000. Now look at that, Kylie. If you saw a pizza restaurant from Florence, Kentucky at a Cooper softball game when you were watching Kylie that had their logos on that, would that not make you go, holy shit?
Absolutely.
There we go. Absolutely. And Kylie, what are you, like 23?
I am.
20. Oh, that's a pretty good guess. 23 years old. That would get her attention. And the goal of this is to get attention because you want Kylie to go, did you see that Mike's Pizza's got a damn Lamborghini? That is insane. And then all of a sudden later that night, what do you want for dinner tonight? Let's go to Mike's Pizza. Okay, so there's a Lamborghini. So now let's go a little more because some people have a hard time with exotic cars. Let's go Corvette because Corvettes are badass. And I'm in Kentucky, so Corvettes are freaking everywhere. So let's find a Corvette. It only says Corvette Stingray. Oh, I guess because I have a year in there. So I'm just going to go. How do I get rid of the damn year on this freaking search? This search is like getting me. Where'd the year go? There we go. That's price, mileage. My gosh, cars.com. What is so clunky about this shit? There we go. Get rid of that. Okay, so I've got Corvettes. I'd say this 2014 Corvette is equally as impressive looking. What do you think, Kylie, as the Maserati?
Yeah, it looks pretty great, actually.
It's badass. That's like a gunmetal gray with tan interior. The price, 27,000 miles for $42,998. So if you were to take that Corvette, because the Corvette's going to be a lot more economical, my guy Patrick, who texted me about the Gallardo, I think you'd get as much attention for a Corvette as you would the Gallardo. You're going to pay a third of the price. The maintenance is a hell of a lot less. Trust me. When I first went to get the Maserati oil change, I knew it was going to be ugly. My buddy Evan, who was in the car business, said, hey, get ready for when you bought the Maserati. because I went from Lexus to BMW to Maserati. He's like, to another BMW, then Maserati. He's like, get ready for Maserati prices. And then when I'm from Maserati to Lambo, he said, shit, get ready for that. Now, tomorrow, as I'm saying this, I've got the Bentley GT I have now. I'm taking it to get an oil change tomorrow in Columbus. I have no clue what that's going to cost, but it is what it is. I'm sure if it's $2,800, that's what I paid to Lambo. If it's less, then hey, I saved money. So there's that. Now I'm going to go Dodge Charger. No, I think, you know what? Let's go Dodge Charger. I think that's the one I'm thinking of. Let's go here. Let's get rid of this. Let's go used. Where do I find the type of car? Home. Okay, I don't want a Volvo. That would not be impressive. So that would be the opposite if you had a Volvo rocking around there. Sorry, Volvo owners. So I'm going to go Dodge, and I'm going to go Chargers are badass. Charger. And I don't need to go 500 miles because there's going to be a crap load of Chargers around here. That's 25 G's. That's cool looking. That if you had that logoed up, Kylie, does I get the stamp approval?
Absolutely.
Black hood, the blue. I like that actually myself. That'd be a cool car because that matches my other car. But you take that. And so the reason of this podcast is to get you thinking differently, is that you need to figure out how to stand out amongst a lot of competition for people's attention. People are on their phone all damn day. Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, email, text message, Messenger, Snapchat, LinkedIn, YouTube. They see billboards. They hear radio commercials. They see TV commercials. They see all sorts of stuff. How are you going to stand out? And I can promise you, car payment and insurance for $500 to $700 a month, you could have a badass sports car, and you're going to spend between $2,000 to $4,000 to graphic it correctly. Don't put some generic ass magnet on it. Don't put some little logos here and there. Make that thing look awesome. That, my friends, would stand out. And it would make people wonder how good the pizza is. Now, granted, you better back that shit up with some solid food service because you want the expectations to be just as big. That's all I got. So, Patrick Carter, this podcast was for you. Episode 210 in the books. I'll see you around. So as you know, I don't charge for my content. We don't have sponsors. We don't have product placement in here. But what I want your help with is spreading the word. If you're finding value here, do me a favor. Share this on your social media. Share an episode with something that made sense to you, that's relevant to your restaurant, that you got value from, and tag Matt Plapp and America's Best Restaurants. Also, go to America's Best Restaurants on Facebook and on Google and leave us a review. Let us know the impact we've had on your restaurant with our roadshow, with our marketing help, or with our podcast. And last but not least, if you want to take the next step and help me out a lot and help us out a lot, text me a testimonial, 859-743-2408. That's my cell. A selfie video would be awesome about the impact this content or our company is having on your independent restaurant. But worst case scenario, just a few kind words. The way we can help lift this industry up is to help get content like this to more independent restaurant owners, and you are the key to spreading the word. I appreciate your support. Have an amazing day.